Hey, everybody, this is Monica, and we've been thinking about introducing you to people who are also on a writing journey, people who are especially influential in my own work. And to kick us off, I've got a really special guest today. I'm going to introduce you to Jonna Piira, who is the founder of a women's focused wellness company, is currently a CFO fractionally for a number of fast growing emerging companies and is an author herself. And she's going to be telling us about her own authorship journey today. So, welcome, Jonna. So great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you. So, maybe just start us out telling us a little bit about your book, which is a work in process, and what has inspired you to write it.
So I have been in a recovery journey myself from an eating disorder for about 18 years. I was anorexic, bulimic, overexerciser. My disorder did not discriminate. And through that whole process, I actually was immersed in my eating disorder when I was 15. I went into treatment the first time at 19, struggled with recovery through 19 to 24, and then really, you know, put the nail in the coffin with my eating disorder at the age of 24 and my second time in treatment. And, during that whole process, in the second time in treatment, I had written notes on every moment, every feeling, every experience for, as best as I could. And I typed all those up. And I think that, I don't live in, my eating disorder anymore. It's part of my past. And so I really feel I'm ready, throughout these 18 years of sharing my story and really helping others. I think that I feel very fortunate that I am able to live life without the grasp of my eating disorder. And I think that that should be shared and help anyone that I can.
That's an amazing story. So, what in your wildest dreams would you hope to accomplish with the publication of your book?
I would love to publish the book, start doing a lot of speaking engagements, start talking to people that are going through the struggle, eventually build an eating disorder recovery platform because I do believe that, when we talk about treatment and we talk about going to therapy, it's expensive. And unfortunately, a lot of people can't afford that. So if we could build a platform that people can have more of a subscription service that's affordable and they can have access to therapists in a group setting, I think that that could really benefit people long term.
That's a great vision. And it sounds to me like it's more than just a side hustle for you, it's really a passion and a
It's definitely
purpose.
a passion. And, I know that you can relate. I mean, you have a full-time job and you've written so many books. So to find that structure to be able to write, you do have to have passion behind it or it just won't get done.
Yeah, for sure. So, tell us a little bit about your writing process. How do you approach it?
So I have, like we discussed, I have tried many roads and some of them led to failures. I have tried, you know, making a requirement of like 3 pages a day. I have tried, time slots. And it was really great when I spoke with you and you said, give yourself grace. And I have been thinking about that every time I sit in my computer. And it's really given me the ability to not say so structured because in my, CFO role, I'm very structured. I need things done at a certain time. And so it's allowed me to kind of live in a more creative space. So if I am not inspired to write this specific chapter, I'll go and fast forward and I'll find another area and I might find excitement there. And you had said you jumped around, during
Mhm.
your writing process. So I have taken that to heart and that's helped a lot.
I'm glad to hear that. So, what have you found to be the most difficult thing about writing your first draft?
I would say imposter syndrome. There's this moment where I sometimes get in my head and I'm like, well, who am I to write this? Who's going to read it? Like what am I doing? And, Malcolm Gladwell, he in Outliers made a very good point. He said if you've done something for 10,000 hours, you're considered an expert. So I actually wrote a chapter in my book that says, who am I? And I just said, why me? And I explained, well, I was immersed in an eating disorder for 10,000 hours. I was in treatment for over 10,000 hours, and I've spent over 175,000 hours in recovery. So technically, I am an expert in all those
You're like
areas,
an
and I
Uber
can talk about
expert.
that. Yeah.
That's a great mindset. I don't know. You shared that with me the last time we spoke, and I don't know that anybody brings that kind of positive mindset to their writing. I love that you've done that. That's incredible.
No, well, thank you.
Um, so what are you most proud of in the work that you've gotten on the page so far?
I think really being able to tap into some of those feelings. I didn't know that some of the pieces would be challenging, but I feel lucky that I'm able to tap into it. So I am able to write a lot of true honesty and just being in that moment to be able to share, because I do believe that people that are going to read this book are going to be able to understand those feelings and that pain, and then be able to see the other side, because the other side is possible.
Yeah. And so what sort of things or lessons do you think readers will take away once they have this in their hands?
I think that recovery is possible, that recovery is a forever journey. So I think it's important for people that are in recovery to continue with a therapist or practices of writing down what your trigger lists are, coming up with different coping mechanisms and learning about that. I talk about that in the book about, making sure you're journaling, keeping your bucket empty so you're not harboring feelings, because once you start harboring feelings, you tend to lean on coping mechanisms that are easy to reach, which is an eating disorder. And so I really map all of that out.
Fabulous. So this is a no pressure question, but when should people expect to see your book available?
So my secret timeline to get the book completely written is at the end of April of this year. And then hopefully next year it will be published and I will be going around tour talking about it.
Excellent. If people want to follow you, keep track of your progress, show their support, how can they find you?
So right now on Instagram, say goodbye, Ed. And the website is being restructured right now, and that will be available in the next month, which is saygoodbyeed.com. And that will be really exciting because it will just have updates on, the platform, the book, everything. And then you can also always just email me. I am always available, jonna.piira@gmail.com.
Awesome. You heard it here first. Everybody go out and support Jonna, and let's give her all the good vibes, because it's a story that we all need to see out in the world. It's going to be incredibly impactful. All right, before we let you go, Jonna, one or two books that you've read lately that you really recommend, any genre.
Any genre. What have I read recently that I loved? We Are the Lucky Ones. I picked it up at an airport, and believe it or not, I was very surprised by it being a true story. I did not know that initially, which was very shocking to me. And I definitely recommend that. And then I did actually get the copy of your book. So I am prepared to that
Oh,
being my next book. And
awesome.
I'm really excited about that. When is that
Thank
actually going
you.
to be? When is that actually going to be available for everyone?
The handler is officially free in the wild on March 26th.
Oh, March 26th. Okay, great. Thank
So
you
we're
so much
getting
for
close to
giving
the
me a copy in
countdown.
advance.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to hear what you think. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks everybody. Tune in next time for our next interview, where you'll meet someone who's had a really great influence on me and my own writing journey.